everyone. We'll get started in just a minute or two. Dev, why don't you say a few words so we can make sure they can hear you?
I just got back from a convention this weekend, so I am very fucking tired.
Ooh, I think they can hear you. They changed the way the audio meters work in OBS.
Yay! Unannounced changes once
Oh no, to be
again.
fair, it was announced. I didn't do it last week because it's like, I'll give it a week to see if anyone breaks anything.
That's fair.
Okay, they say they can hear both of us. Ready to go, Dev?
Yep.
Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run WtW and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm DevQ, and this Digimon Con was bad for my wallet.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about to see how in the hole Dev will be. Dev, how has your week
Oh,
been?
busy. I worked like 10 days in a row because I
Uh,
took off for the convention weekend, so my days had to get shifted around when I was actually at work.
I'm very happy that some time without work lined up exactly with Digimon Con, so it was not me spending the whole night doing all the articles and thinking about work. It just happened to line up that way. But yeah, think there's enough to talk about this time, Dev?
Convenient. We're doomed.
Yeah. First up, Beatbreak episode 23, The Power to Take. And we start with Naito portaling into where Clay is. Clay looks at it was his family palace, not just the family palace of the country he used to live in, correct?
Correct.
Or was it a newer palace that he had built? Because he mentions that Five Stars destroyed everything of his. It was a bit unclear
I'm
there,
pretty
but
sure like that was his original family home and that got wrecked by various political
that's what I
upheaval
thought.
and
But the way he
shenanigans.
worded it, it made it sound like he had shown up there and it was destroyed. That's why I wasn't completely clear. And then he's like, I have more plans because my coup failed. And then Clay and Proganamon cold heart Naito to use his E-Pulse. It's interesting, isn't it? If you look at like the early marketing for Tactics, it felt like Naito was actually going to be important, and he's been completely irrelevant, basically.
Yeah, his Digimon got kind of raked across the coals every single time it showed
But
up in a
no,
fight.
even
And
as a character, he didn't do anything. Like they even frame him as
he smacked around children. That
no,
was
but
about it.
that's what I mean. What did he do as a character? He was basically just there to occasionally like well, like you said, smack someone to give us the idea that he's doing stuff. Honestly, it feels
He's
like
made to be kind of a foil to Kyo.
like
That was about it.
the most disappointing part of the Tactics arc was Tactics. Like it's not like we're saying the arc was bad. We enjoyed quite a bit of it. But like the actual idea of what they told us Tactics was going to be and what this arc was going to be never happened. And then
No, like it was like watching Team Rocket, except they weren't supposed to be
I think
comedic relief.
I think technically they were less competent than Team Rocket.
Yeah, Team Rocket actually saved the world a couple of times.
And then we jump to Genjo, who wants to go after Clay. Chairman Wong wants to see what Clay does, which that I actually don't like. That is a writing excuse to explain them not showing up. It does not make because the entire framing is they've been like destroying all his stuff and chasing him down, and then they're just not because that is a plot pull, honestly.
Yeah, it's like within such a short period of time, they've said like, "Hey, we've wiped out pretty much
Yeah,
the
but
entirety of Tactics. We've had him on the run.
also
They
we're
could
not
totally
going to
just
do
step in
anything.
at any moment."
Yeah. Then we get a flashback to 21 years ago, seeing whatever happened. We basically see Digimon's eye, and we get clarification that Clay was there and saw it happen. And then he comments he wants to end Wong's dream. The Ministry contacts Glowing Dawn, and we actually, it's funny. We wondered if we were meant to take the Colosseum stuff literally or not, and we definitely were. They
Yeah.
they want them to rescue, but Kyo isn't around, so they decide to anyways. And then this is the part of the episode that I think is the biggest shame. They skip to Raito, who's sitting in the Colosseum ruins. Hodoroku and Granite show up, and they decide to put a bow on all the tactics stuff. I'd really hope we would not see them for a while.
Honestly, same. I was kind of hoping they
And
would just show up later on,
and
like,
also
hey, the cavalry's here.
and also here's the part that I'm most about. I thought Raito had jumped through the portal and was off gallivanting around on Earth. I didn't realize he was still in the crash Coliseum area.
Same. I thought he got lost somewhere along the
Yeah,
way in transit.
I
But
thought he
no,
just.
no, he's just still there?
Yeah, Yeah, that's weird. And then he gives his speech. He's not. I wish they had not done the rapper where he's like, I'm not a genius. I couldn't beat Naito. All I could do is mimic. The real genius is Tomorrow Tenma, the lead of the story. That was a little bit too much because I wanted to see something better than just the 2 sentence wrap up.
Yeah, it's like fight for your redemption arc.
And here's the thing. I know they can do more with them later, but I would like the more to be done before before this. And then Granite gives a card to Raito as Proganomon show up, and Proganomon starts going to hell, grabs Team 7 into a portal. For why? Okay, Tomorrow shows up. Why? Why are they going back when they thought that place was empty? Is it just that's the best place to start? Because that felt a little weird, didn't it? And I know people are saying the coffins, but that place would have been cleared out. That's a bit odd. And I do like Glowing Dawn immediately diving into the portal. That's nice. Then the coffins try and
Yep, that is on brand.
And then okay, so here's a weird thing. The coffins go up floating and try to blast them and everything, right? When we saw the coffin things before, was there ever a suggestion that they did stuff and weren't just storage? I'm not saying this
No,
conflicts with anything. It's just was it kind of odd that all of a sudden now they're
they weren't ambulatory before.
You know what
They were just kind of
You know what they
there.
reminded me of? In Beast Wars, whenever they would find a new Transformer and they were in one of the I forgot the name of them.
The pods or something.
Yes, it reminded me of the pods. Because remember, those could fly and everything. They just didn't do it because most of them were damaged. And then everyone evolves and they smash the coffins easily. And then Proganomon starts doing drilling. Then Kyo shows up at the ruins of the Colosseum, finds Clay. I don't know why everyone's going to the Colosseum. I get plot-wise, it's the last place they all were. But if you get what I'm
just because
there's nowhere else for them to frame the story.
Government guys. Yeah, pretty much.
I guess. And then they get portaled to the fight. I like that Clay's there for some reason. It doesn't really make sense, especially since Proganomon is battling the others. Murasimon jumping in quickly to fight is good. And they need to open the coffins because that's where Team 7 is. Tomorrow's upset. Then this is where I think Beatbreak kind of loses what it's doing. It mentions that the puppet government was put together for rare earth elements, which fine, makes sense. They fall into the trap where almost every character they've detailed has the same background.
Has some sad backstory.
Clay, Naito, Granite all have functioned the same background, but in the case of Granite, what we said when we first saw it was we hope this does not become all of it.
A running thing.
No. We hoped they would go back to it. The problem now is Clay and Naito's background stuff is basically being introduced only to explain what they're doing right now, in the idea of, oh, they saw something wrong being done, and they've then decided they have to be stronger. There is no good framing of it there, especially since we get better framing for Clay in a few minutes. And then Clay,
Yeah.
and during this, Clay gives the might makes right speech. He offers to reveal why Japan was flooded. Wong was lying about being a natural disaster. We get a flashback to 21 years ago. So part of this is interesting because Clay's been around for all of this since the beginning, but he apparently wasn't a 5-star at first, because I don't think he was a 5-star when Kyo was.
It feels like he was, because
But
they obviously like knew each other.
but it feels like they kind of didn't know each other to the extent that it it's kind of odd. I think it's just the framing feels weird and is making it seem off. Then, so flashback 21 years ago, they mentioned it sheltered refugees and was also test to make E-Pulse. Clay was one of those people. He wakes up one night and he finds Sunarisamon next to him. Right as a bunch of Digimon start to appear and invade and cold hard people, does the visual framing here feel very Ghost Game-ish? Like the
Yes,
Digimon in the Hall, I mean? Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then Sunarisamon offers to help Clay. That's the day humanity learned of Digimon. I'm not 100% sure that's true, to be honest. Because it feels
Well,
like,
that's certainly the day he did.
no, exactly. But like humanity as a whole doesn't know. It's a secret. But at this point, does it feel like there were probably already Digimon doing stuff? He just was unaware.
Absolutely.
Then in the flashback, Wong asks Dr. Tenma what is happening, which fills in a lot of plot elements. And frankly, I can't decide if I like it or not because Digimon has done this plot element before and not even that long ago. Multiple times, in fact. Like, this actually feels a
He
lot.
looks like Dr. Robotnik, but recolored.
Yeah, so this is probably Tomo's grandfather.
Yeah,
And
because 20 years ago, and this was already an old dude.
yeah. Um, and then, interestingly, it's mentioned that the monsters fused into a single being, which, God help us, it better not be the one we're probably both thinking of, Dev.
Is it fucking Millenniumon?
That's what it sounds like. There are other Digimon it could be, but everyone loves using Millenniumon for this.
I mean, silhouette-wise, like, that was kind of the first thing that I
Yeah.
initially thought of, or, like, some sort of
That's what,
Chimeramon-ish
yeah.
thing.
And then that Digimon disintegrating caused the earthquake. I don't think that's true. Do you, Dev? Do you think that somehow this Digimon vanished and that's what caused it? Or the Digimon caused it and now the Digimon is off, trapped somewhere until whatever? I don't
It's
think this
really hard to
I
say.
don't think this Digimon is gone, is my point. Uh,
Not gone, but not,
yeah.
like, just chilling somewhere on a beach.
Somehow Wong escaped blame and marketed E-Pulse and Sapotamas and wants that power once again. This is where I hope an episode will explain this, because that being brushed aside, I actually don't like.
Yeah.
Like that,
It's like, hey, can you come back? Can you rewind that? Can you explain that some
I
more?
actually think that works better if they had not mentioned that at all, because that puts the idea that somehow that there's some story to it. And then then all of a sudden Clay's like, we need to work together to get the power to stop him. And it's like, I don't. Clay
Why just being a businessman about it?
Clay's interesting when he's focused, but they keep trying to backtrack to that stuff when it doesn't fit and when he already knows not to even make the offer. Then bunch of the coffin shoot E-Pulse to Programmon, which I like that the fake Sapotamas are brought up again.
Yay, those things are relevant.
and the coffins begin to cold heart, and he evolves into Pyramidimon, and Clay floats into him in a strange visual that clearly is not meant to be like a fusion, but like they almost want him being like a mech pilot. It
Yeah, I
almost
feel like they didn't necessarily want him just being out
standing there,
and
yeah.
about or on the ground.
It is basically G Gundam. And then we do get
Yeah.
clarification that Kyo is aware that this level exists, which most people think, okay, that's a basic thing. And that would suggest Kyo's actually seen one. And I think that makes it a bit more interesting, at least to me.
It's like,
Um,
ah, shit, that's an actual ultimate. Well, fuck.
yeah. And
But
then,
it's unstable, so we can abuse this.
yeah, Armalizamon jumps up, tries to attack him, fails. No one can really stop him. And here's when we get the loophole for the episode. The evolution was forced. It was shoved in with a bunch of E-pulse. It's not an actual proper natural evolution for Proganomon. So here's where we get like the big loophole for the moment, which is whether we're seeing a Mega slash Ultimate or not, it isn't stable. It isn't actually as strong as it should be.
Like, this bitch is weak sauce. We can
Yeah.
totally use a perfect and a couple of adults to take care of this.
Murasamon
We don't
attacks,
need to pull.
and then he gets hit to be Cougarmon. They're not going to show us a level below that, are they?
No, not yet. Oh, I
Uh,
would assume they would have with the card set coming out soon.
Well, here's the thing. There are ones that line up with it. I just don't think it matters enough to the anime to go to the effort, for, especially since the card went with existing Digimon.
Give me merch of tiny kitties.
Glowing Dawn gets away as Clay's distracted. Here's a good moment. Keel wants them all to run, and Tomura won't, points out what happened to his brother. He won't run away. They're going to buy him time to recharge E-Pulse so Marasimon can evolve again. Good character moment, bad moment in the framing of what we've seen in Beatbreak up until now, when it does not feel like for most people E-Pulse works like that.
E-Pulse works however it is
Yeah,
convenient at the moment.
I know, but also, yeah. Um, the three of them can't really beat Pyramidimon, but he can distract him. Although we do see Armalisamon doing a decent bit of damage, which is great when you use a Mega, and also the framing that it does not evolve properly. Because it means you can have him do anything they want, but also not do damage if you don't want to, and you can have any Digimon do damage if you want to. It's actually a great bit of writing to throw that in, honestly.
Also, conveniently, Armalizamon's profile is that it can, take on perfect level Digimon with its particular skills.
Yeah. Uh, then we get Clay bragging about tactics, which that really does feel strange because it feels like he's complimenting tactics, even though we never saw tactics actually be relevant. And then even when he's bragging that he only put tactics together to get the E-Pulse. This is also where I think the writing for Clay falls apart a bit, where they start doing
Yeah.
evil for evil's sake while also trying to make him seem logical and not reasonable, but like that he's thinking about what's happening. But it's kind,
Yeah, it doesn't quite add up.
yeah. And then I like Cougarmon pointing out, and this is another bit of background that we actually get explained, that when Kyo was a member of the 5-star and he was full of rage, his E-Pulse was black like when Tomura gets angry. And it isn't like that anymore. It's kind of a rainbow color now. I like that because it clarifies that that is not like a character thing for Tomura. That is just rage. And we saw that it was, but this clarifies that that is just a thing. And I actually like that.
Like, dark evolutions for everyone. Hopefully.
Then Kyo shows up. Cougarmon evolves to Rasamon. I'm not wrong that like we saw the full sequence in episode 2 go. This is like an extended one, right? Am I imagining that,
Yes, they
or
made it extra sexy and Tamers
that's what that?
flavored.
And we also get the opening as an insert song. Very good usage of that, by the way. Marasimon knocks Pyramidimon back with one hit. Clay talks a bit about Wong to stop Wong. Then Kyo talks about his dream about living in harmony with Digimon. Clay talks about it being ludicrous. Then we get Kyo charging up Rasamon with E-Pulse. We have not seen his sword energized like that before, and it looked very cool. And then this is also like the moment of cool for the episode, and also I think a failed moment. The charging right through moment, which is really fucking cool, but also it's like something every shonen type thing decides to do in the past 20 years.
They decided to do it because it's badass.
It is, but like I would have liked to see a fight, especially if you're gonna do the lead up to the fight before it, because we get the one
Yeah, and also
slash.
Pyramid Con falls over, just tilting the
Yeah,
frame to the
I would have
left.
liked to have seen a bit of a fight. The fake Sapotama break, all the E-Pulse returns as Clay falls. Kyo saves him. Clay doesn't understand why he was saved, which I don't know if I like that or not, to be honest. I feel like we don't know enough about Clay to decide. Clay does not understand how he's different than Kyo. That I actually like, where in his mind there is no difference what they've done. And I actually think that's really good. Um, and then we see a bit of sand start to swirl into Reina. Kyo shoves her out of the way as Proganamon cold hearts Kyo. Episode over. The end of the episode is where I would say they actually do something stupid. Do you know what the stupid thing is, Dev?
Not having a really cool blood splatter,
No.
or having a Tomoro flashback to his brother dying and having
Nope.
all of his friends die in front of
Nope.
him.
Nope. Okay, from everything we've seen of Digimon in Beatbreak, one, is it going to be Proganomon? And two, is it going to have enough energy to actually do stuff?
It should have been.
You get what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, it should have evolved into turned into a tiny little puffball, but
Yeah,
they needed a continued thread.
they need Proganomon there, but the actual way they beat Pyramidimon does not seem to fit that as far as the way Beatbreak works is concerned. Now, that's fine, but it does fall into the Beatbreak really likes the rules, and then to ignore them and not mention that it's broken the rule when convenient. Um,
Yep.
this episode's really important in that we get a lot of backstory of stuff, even if it's guessable, but we get stuff detailed well. There are some writing flaws here, but I think it's one of the better episodes.
And also, most of the budget went into Clay's facial expressions than
Yes.
the Pyramidimon fight.
Also, weirdly, I'm not sure they needed Pyramidimon here.
They really didn't. They could have just had Programmon just
Yeah,
doing
like
something crazy.
I get why you want it to be like, oh, it's evolved to the thing, but when they immediately do the, oh, it's unstable, it's cool, but I'm not sure it's necessary.
Well, I think it might be because they've already done essentially an overpowered, overcharged, perfect level
Yeah,
Digimon with the fucking sea slug. What is its name?
Marine Bullmon.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, no, you're
So I guess
right.
it's kind of like the opposite this time.
Yeah, although it does clarify one interesting detail. At the very least, Clay and possibly all the 5 stars do not actually have access to that level yet, which is interesting, especially since they've been framed as like the be all end all when it kind of
But you
suggests here
can't even
there.
do ultimates?
Yeah. Um I really feel like not having tactics here at all would have made it better. Especially when like they had the last couple episodes had such good framing of them maybe not figuring it all out, but understanding that they had to figure it out. I don't like that then like the first couple minutes of the episode just has them all like there and like done. I don't know.
They didn't need to be there, and
Yeah.
it could have better served other potential plot points than just being there only to get
Yeah,
bridged.
I would agree there. Still one of the better episodes of the show though. And but yeah.
Hell,
Uh
they could have had just Raito there to essentially be bait for Tomoro and Glowing
actually
Dawn to jump into the portal.
Actually, that's not bad because you don't actually need Granite or Hotaruku there. They could do it just with Raido. That's actually a good call there, Dove. Then, so cast stuff. Dr. Tasuku Tenma was played by Kenyu Horiuchi. He was in Daramon and Tamers, Metal Life Kuwagamon and Hunters, and Captain Hookmon in Ghost Game.
Oh, that works.
Very, very long career. We'll skip over some of them. Would you like to know some of his dubbed over roles?
Yes.
He dubs over a number of
Already even done the Mad Scientist.
he dubs over. There are some, but I think his dubbed over Hollywood roles are the most fun. Brad Pitt, Charlie Sheen, Ben Stiller, Brendan Fraser, Ben Affleck.
Okay, yes, Charlie Sheen
Yeah,
definitely fits that.
and a number of characters in the original Transformers when they brought it to Japan. And then, interestingly, I missed a cast member originally because my brain skimmed over it because of who it was. When I go through the
Hmm.
credits, I was like, okay, there's Proganamon, there's Sonorizamon, and then I realized later, Sonorizamon is not the same actor as Proganamon.
Oh, it isn't?
No, which is an interesting choice, and I'm not sure if we're meant to take something more from that. Um, Sonorizamon is played by Yudai Mino. He had few bit roles in 2020 Ghost Game, and he was Mini Vegeta in Dragon Ball Daima.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if we're meant to take something from that it's a different actor. Although I don't think Proganomon has actually spoken. So they may have not decided that that has not been a voice, if that makes sense.
My guess is that just because like when Programmon has talked, it's like really deep and
I
bassy,
don't think he's actually
trying to do
talked.
some. He
Has he?
said like a couple of. Yeah, he said a couple things.
Okay, I in my head all I remember is like the drill noise, the I
No,
don't.
he said like a couple, like maybe like 2 sentences total, maybe, but
Okay,
it was pretty
I
deep
have
and
no
bassy. So I
memory of them at all.
Sunalizamon is a little out of his range,
Okay,
at least the
in
voice that
chat
went
they're
with that
saying he
one.
definitely said attacks. Oh, and Pyramidimon said attacks, didn't he? Or was that Clay?
Yeah.
Someone said attacks. I don't remember at the moment.
Pyramidimon.
Okay, that makes sense. Then next week
Sounds like an old man.
we get episode 24 overlapping beats, which is the end of the tactics arc. Then so we got they're doing key art for next week, which is Clay and Progano. Does it feel like this should have been this episode?
Yeah, but I guess they're doing more flashbacks or something next episode, so.
God, I will say this: Proganomon in the pose, they really want you to think of Gamera
I mean,
for that key art.
yeah.
Then episode 22 production art, we got some art of Hotaruka and Clay. I think the
Nice.
best one of these is actually probably Hotaruko in her lab outfit.
She looks so fucking tired.
I know. Then a line test of the Marasimon and Gigasmon battle, which weirdly, I like it. Does it feel like it doesn't have as much oomph as when we watched it last week?
I guess because like the special effects kind of like made up for
Yeah,
a lot of the. And this is mostly just the key frames and not the
yeah,
queens.
that makes sense. Um, then we got the second Digimon Beatbreak Outreach mission illustration. This time, the artist Sana drew Glowing Dawn. This is a very good,
It's
cute
so
image.
good.
You know what's funny? Who do you think looks the best in this art? It's interesting because I don't. I know who I think it is, and I don't think it's the expected answer.
Hard to. They all look really good, but I kind of like Tomoro's little angry expression. He looks so grumpy,
I think it's Pristimon.
like a cat that you're trying to bathe.
For me, it's Pristimon because Pristimon just looks like perfect on this. I think. And
She's precious, and I love her little face.
Reina's expression feels like she's from a different anime. where she's ignoring someone asking her out.
She saw Raito off screen.
Oh, someone said Lucky Star. That fits so well for that look. That's actually perfect. And then Digimon Liberator episode 25 part 2 Dawn of Liberator, which is the finale of the Digimon Liberator webcomic. As we guessed, there's going to be one more web novel chapter in a few days. So here's a weird thing, and Dev, you tell me if I'm wrong. They bring up like Teruon being like a vagabond. He showed up out of nowhere at the beginning, but was that really a thing during Liberator?
Only at the beginning, just like he likes to fly around and
Yeah,
watch
but it
things.
wasn't like set up as him being like a like traveling singular person. It was just kind of like he liked looking at stuff.
Yeah, it's not like he disappeared in the middle of a chapter to
Yeah,
like go fuck off on a tour.
yeah. Although I will say, I love how much in these, as much as I think the second year we both agree was much rougher than the first year, second year's had some great Muchomon stuff.
He is the best boy.
Yeah. Um, I don't know how I feel about the last minute reframing of Unchained is now an NPC named Chain. It's a bit of a clarification that it's from using the power and talking like that's hard for them. It feels a bit
It's like
odd.
we're kind of killing off this character, but not really.
Then we get a few silhouettes of a few Digimon, some more familiar than others. Um, the framing of the world being filled with potential now and changing on its own is nice, especially since we know this is not the end of that world, because a license taking place there also. And everyone shows up to find Shoto just as Chain vanishes. I like this. Zenith posing constantly is amusing. I wish he'd been more interesting in the 2 years of the comic.
I mean, he was probably a little more active with the web novel side when he did show up.
No, he really wasn't, because in the web novel he only showed up like in a few chapters in year 2. Remember where they were trying to detail him being Xeno?
He's
Like
just a little bitch.
basically. Um, I'm not sure why he throws off his coat. That was not a thing of his that I remember. And then
Maybe
everyone
he's just trying to go with a new image.
probably everyone wants to have a match. Perfect time for Terramon to come zooming in. And then the weird thing, does the N bit from Chain feel like the NPC thing's fake? And
Not
that's
really. It feels like he kind of got the Oikawa treatment.
it feels more like they gave a reason why they aren't show up rather than, and it ends right as the match begins. It's a good ending. It is a victory lap, which is what this should be. Like
Yep, everyone's together and they're having fun.
now, the problem is the extra web novel chapter going to deal with it as well, or are we just gonna be like, they already did the fucking ending? Why are they doing this? We'll see in a couple days.
It might be dealing with more the characters that are more from the web novel and what they're doing, or it might be kind of like a segue
To
into
Eliason.
the smartphone game.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to see what they do. I hope they don't trip. Then the first anniversary of the release of Digimon Adventure Beyond. Really good way to cap off the 25th anniversary of Adventure. And I learned something from posting this. The number of people who thought this was a teaser for a movie and not like a special thing is very high.
That's sad. I mean, I would also love that to be a
No, so
movie,
would
but
I.
it was
But like
just kind of like,
they were very clear about that. Like apparently there's just been a bunch of people been like sitting and waiting for like movie news.
no, that was all encompassing. It's
Yeah,
just like,
and
hey, anniversary year,
now
woohoo! Here's
part
a
of the
little thing we put together.
now part of the confusion may be, and a couple of people asked me about this is, did we ever get like the clarification of like the background data that Kakudo had talked about? And he's actually tweeted in the last few days that that has not been done yet. And a lot of people are confused, but you have to remember a lot of, and this is part something that came up with Adventure Note 2. A lot of the ideas Kakudo has for background stuff aren't necessarily written in like a Bible where they can be collected easily. They're in his head. So if he's busy and has not had the time to put them together, so chat's asking, wasn't there supposed to be a novel? I believe it was less a novel and more some pseudo novel text explaining stuff, kind of like what we got where he detailed some of what he thought of for the epilogue, where it was a bit of stuff but not an actual novel. Like, I don't believe there was ever an actual novel planned. I'd love to be wrong, but we'll see, because he did say that's still coming. So we've been to the year from there. And then, so Digimon Con was Saturday.
So much.
I know, so 3 hour, bit longer than that. We had the stream updates. Um, they had the countdown before it. They also archive videos are up, and as far as I can tell, because they didn't do musical performances, the archive videos I think are untouched. They put up wallpapers. They put up a survey for people to do after watching. Countdown stuff, they teased the D-Ark. They teased that studying video. We had card game teaser. We had game teaser. They announced the host right before. Interestingly, Michael, what was his name? The guy who hosted like most of
I
them.
don't know. I can't remember. I
You're not.
can't remember people's names.
He's not there. Matsuzawa's and Sujimon from uh, Terriermon Assistant Lab. I This does clarify one thing for me. I didn't realize that he's the person in Terriermon Assistant Lab who sometimes off screen is speaking English.
Huh. Hmm.
Uh, they teased Terriermon Assistant and Godzilla stuff. I love the teaser, which was 30 minutes of background music with a butterfly instrumental. Like, you can use it for studying or for exercising. And a bunch of people were like watching closely every frame, going like, "Where's the clue? Where's the clue? Where's the clue?" And if you watch it, you realize in the first 5 seconds, oh, those are not old sprites. So the schedule, I think, made sense. The talk segments acting as bridges worked well, I think. It's a bit long still at 3+ hours.
Yeah, I flicked around the video like almost directly after it aired
Yeah, it's long.
because I was at a convention.
Yeah. So we have the news from that throughout the show. So moving on. So first up, they announced a Time Stranger expansion DLC, which is in development, be coming in 2027. It feels like this was too early to announce it, but also the timing just made sense with the DLC being done and everything.
Like,
We,
yeah, we're doing more stuff. Hopefully it
we'll
doesn't
see
suck
what
as
it
much as
is.
this DLC.
My brain jumps to, oh, it's going to be akin to Hacker's Memory, just not be a separate game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope it's something more like Hacker's Memory than just okay. Here's a hallway and here's
Here,
Gamamon.
yeah, so they do the poll results, which we'll do those later. The presentation of them was very good, I thought, especially going over the
Oh,
top
that was
20.
funny to watch.
But we'll go over them later because they gave us all the results the other night. So more Time Stranger coming next year. V Jump had a bit of coverage of the Switch and Switch 2 version, which that's what the Time Stranger Digimon Con block was. There wasn't much interesting for the Switch 2 version because they told us everything ahead of time, which I actually like, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just rehashing stuff.
And then weirdly, last week, Bandai US did a live stream of them playing DLC 3. Do you know what the flaw of it was, though? I decided to go check Dev. They only scheduled an hour. And do you remember how I said the DLC is bloated?
Yeah, it just
I
it
was
shouldn't take a full hour.
well. That's the thing. I was curious because like I know how quickly I was playing, and it took me a bit under 2 hours. I'm like, I wonder how they did this an hour. So I go towards the end of the video, and they're at what I recognize as being roughly the halfway point, and they just stop.
They just stop and talk or something?
No, they stop the stream. They're like, okay, that's it.
Oh.
Um, yeah. So chat wants to know when do we think we could see a trailer? I feel like unless they know when, maybe when they do event stuff in the summer, maybe. But yeah, don't really know. And then we found out what that one video was teasing, a new mobile game called Digimon Up, which we actually have very little details. It appears the idea is it is going to be basically a pseudo V-Pet with online battles, is what it appears to be.
It's what the Vital Bracelet could have been.
I don't
Maybe.
I don't think there's enough interest in the Vital Bracelet to really do that, to be honest. This, if it works, will probably have more interest. The sprites are good. I like them already clarifying there'll be items from all over the franchise, and they show us a range of Digivices, plus cards themed after the original card game,
Cute.
which is a very interesting little touch, I think. I like that the framing is of the original cards. And there are some interesting Digimon we see between here and the preview. What's the one fucking sweet potato Digimon called?
Yagamon?
Yakimon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, other potato.
the sprite of him. He does not show up in much stuff. I'm trying to think, like, he's been in the card game. He was in collectors, and he showed up in Crosswords. Has he actually been in anything other than the card game or card game related stuff? That is. I think the
I
answer
don't
is no.
think so. Isn't it one of those like
Contest ones.
contest
Yes.
Digimon?
Yes, it was a contest one. Sprite work is good. I love the sprite work of the Agumon avatar.
He's so happy to be
Uh,
here.
the game's scheduled for this year. They already opened up social media and whatnot. And pre-registration, when it starts, will get you a Gekomon. Am I wrong? Or is the Gekomon the worst sprite?
It's not bad, but I mean, the Gomamon sprite is the best.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, if you look at the Gekomon sprite and then you look at all the others, it doesn't look as good, does it?
I feel the ones are like a little bit smoother, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does. I wonder if
His
that's
sprite, Gekomon sprite's like a little block here,
yeah.
a little rough around the edges.
So we'll see what comes up here sooner rather than later, probably. Then they announced they aren't doing Digimon Expo again this year. They're going to do Digimon Caravan in the summer, which we don't know if the name's actually supposed to suggest what it does. It would suggest multiple smaller events, but that may just be a name. We'll see.
That might just sound cool.
Yeah. But with it being summer, we will probably get information soon. And then they teased a Digimon Pendulum Color Godzilla, and we got details and good details. So first up,
God, those look so fucking cool.
the colors this time are themed after Godzilla side of Omegamon, Digimon side of Omegamon. Really good theming there. The monster number seating flip up, it's 58 this time. I think it was like 35 last time.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's most of what was there last time plus a bunch more. So the collaboration monsters, I've seen some people disappointed by. I think we made out like crazy on this one. So there's 3 types of collaboration monsters this time. So we have 3. Let's go over the 2 repaints first. So we get a virus version of Metal Greymon G Erosion mode and Black War Greymon G Erosion mode, which are repaints of the 2 from last time.
Yep.
Then for new ones, we get Greymon G-Erosion mode, Metal Garurumon G-Erosion mode, and Omegamon G Fusion mode. So
It looks
it's
so creepy. It's
so
amazing.
so the reason why some people don't like this is so last time we had 4 collaboration monsters. We have 5 this time, but 2 of them are repaints. The reason why I'm okay with this 3 and 2 is it also includes the 4 from last time.
Yeah, but also, what I'm thinking is, look, they're showing Metal Garurumon. There's a good chance there's Garurumon and Were-Garurumon shoved in there
Um,
too somewhere.
I'm not I I'm not sure there is, to be honest. I would love to be wrong in that, but I feel like when they're saying there are 5 new collaboration monsters, they probably aren't being cute in that case.
Mm.
I think they're probably being literal. I would love to be wrong, but I think we should take that as literal, to be honest. So the interesting thing is I don't know if this was people theorizing, if I missed text. I hope I missed text because I actually really like the idea. The idea behind G fusion mode is Omegamon is actually powerful enough that despite the corruption, he's actually powering through it and under control, despite the visual. I don't know if that's accurate, but I would love that to be right. That sounds cool. And that is a
That would indeed be badass.
so out of the 3 new designs this time, Dev, which do you like the most and which do you like the least?
Okay, least is Greymon just because I
It,
guess compared to
it
Metal
Greymon?
Greymon and it's just okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the winner is Omegamon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like as
So
much as I like Metal Gurumon, Omegamon won.
so for me, I think Metal Gurumon's actually the least. Do you know why? When I look at it, I feel like the Godzilla half does not really style well with the wolf theming.
It
If
gives me Anguirus vibes.
yeah, it yeah. So pendulum function, you can use the pendulum to destroy buildings. Anguirus appears sometimes. The Godzilla theme plays as monsters invade. Has the cut-in animations. It has the G cell activity level they had last time.
Good.
Yeah, people are very excited to see Dinomon here, since that is very obviously a Godzilla themed Digimon. Let's see. It can connect to prior ones. Pre-orders are
I mean,
open in
that's
Japan.
kind of expected.
Yeah, pre-orders are open in Japan. Ships in August. Pre-orders probably open here in the next few days. I
Not bad.
a couple days before this, I was like, oh, you know what? I've probably spent too much lately. I'm gonna order less stuff because I've definitely ordered a bit too much. And it's like, fuck. I need to decide.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dev, let's say you get one. Which do you get? I know which one I'm getting because I think it looks better style wise. Which of the two?
The one with the white frame buttons. It has like just like a nicer contrast.
Yeah, I think the Digimon theme one just works better, especially with the sides and back.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, both are cool.
Oh
Just
no, they
aesthetically, I
are
like the
same. Very neat. I really hope they continue this because this is what we were talking about a few years ago when they started doing the color, which is not just adding more monsters, but using it as a platform to have new ideas. So like the G Cell stuff, having the Godzilla theme playing. I would like to see this used for other Digimon stuff. And like we
yes.
got that with like the Crosswords one. So like, there are other anniversaries this year. Let's see them do Savers or Atmon or something. Then the beginning of the 25th celebration of Tamers. So we get a tease for new anime style key art. Very nice.
It looks so nice.
It does. I like how they are like, we're only gonna show Takato and Gilmon here because that makes sense, and also here's Kulumon.
Could you?
And then following up on what they did the last few years, Kenji Watanabe did some new art that will be on products. Really, really good art.
Oh, these are all so fucking good.
I know they're so good. And then they revealed that the Precious Gem, Beelzebubon, and Behemoth will get a re-release with pre-orders opening in April. I think you had this one, didn't you, Dev?
No, I have the blast mode precious gem with Impmon.
Okay, I'm thinking about that one then.
This one was a bit out of my price range.
And it's gonna be more expensive now, for sure. And then
Gonna have to just let it go by again.
D-Ark 25th Color Evolutions.
I was right. I was right.
You were right. I like though how we were both wrong on how they handled the special thing. There is no DX model, although they're all sort of mini DX models.
Yeah.
So the shells are new, but based on the toy from 2001. The cards are plastic. They are not read by the device when you slash. I think what it is there's a hidden button where the slash housing is, and the plastic cards actually hit the button.
Yeah, that was the same with the really, really old one from ancient times
No, those were
when the
special,
series first came out.
but those had actual like uh, junk on them that the cards read, didn't they? Like cards would actually do
Uh
different things.
the English version. It just had a
Okay, I'm thinking of the
little ball
Japanese one.
bearing.
Yeah, these are there is does not do anything. In fact, they actually have it listed that if you slash with the cards, you may damage them.
Yeah.
So Adventure in the Real Digital World follows story of the anime. Over 100 Digimon appear. Boss Digimon. D-Reapers get larger pixel art. Those are some great designs.
Yeah, I really enjoy the pixel art.
Yeah, really good this time. Backgrounds change based on the area. Biggest Dreamer TV size plays and voices of characters. They mentioned different evolution songs will play as needed.
Yeah, I saw the video
Yeah,
for the Sakuyamon evolution sequence. Like, oh, that's so fucking
it
cool.
is. Search points. This was called something else in the D3 one. It's basically the same system there, but you can collect cards to get advantage in battles, get items, card slash, um, interact with the partner on the camp screen, which is from the others. Uh, so you can get characters to join your party, but it actually does clarify um, only the three leads are selectable at the beginning. Ryo and Cyberdramon and Impmon are also ones who can join your party. They tease, um, you know, Dukemon Crimson mode, Grani, Behemoth, Blast mode. I like how they point out the items you have to get. So, like, you have to get the gun for Impmon, the toy gun.
That is really cool.
It is. They mention 350 words of recorded lines, including some newly recorded ones from Tamer's partner Digimon Kulumon. And then I like when they detail the stuff. So they mentioned there's no new audio from Yuka Imai, who's long since retired. And they mentioned some audio is new for this product. Some of the new audio is from the CSCA D-Ark, which makes sense. Cast is the same as TV show.
Okay.
Songs include Biggest Dreamer TV size, Slash, Evo, uh, the three versions of One Vision. I always get tripped up reading the song names because one of them does not make any fucking sense. So, Dev, do you remember the names of the One Vision songs?
Let's see. One Vision, Sakyamon version or something
Yeah,
like that.
Sakuyamon Matrix Evolution version. Then you have Dukemon Matrix Evolution version. So, what should the third one be?
Um, Bunny evolution version.
Saint Galgomon Matrix Evolution version, which is not the name of the song. They just use Galgomon. I don't get why.
Huh.
Then three primary colors. It connects to various recently released devices, and the camping items are different this time. So you get the color of Digivice, sunglasses or goggles, and a food item.
Oh,
I think the best of the food items, I know everyone's going to say Gilmon bread, but I love that they have the energy drink that Ruki gave to Renamon.
I would need one of those drinks right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm very tired.
So these are 14,300. That is a significant uptick from the D3s, which, so these are kind of all not DX models, but also mini DX models. So, Dev, if you're only getting one, which are you getting?
Rookie.
I feel like I.
Well,
F-
I already have rookies from the last
so
time.
here's what I think is the weird thing. So there's only three reasons to decide on a model between these. The first is which color shell you like the most. I actually think blue looks
Yeah.
the nicest. Then reason two is the exclusive items, which characters you want. I think the coolest exclusive items are probably actually the Takata ones. We get the red Digivice, his goggles, and the Gilmon bread.
Yeah.
The problem is then the other exclusive is the cards. I actually think
Yep.
Rookie set is the most bland
Yeah,
because it also does not include one of the extra cards. Takato gets the handmade blue card, and John Long gets the red card.
yeah, Rookie just gets Rio's device cards.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the blue one's the nicest looking.
Yeah, it's just really pretty. And I usually get the emo character Digivices. It's like I can't
Yeah.
afford all of them, but if I can
Yeah.
afford one, it's gonna be the
Yeah.
emo kid.
So pre-orders are open for a month. US pre-orders should open shortly. Moving on from that, we got details of Ghost Game on Blu-ray. Volume 1 will be episodes 1 through 32, Volume 2, 33 through 67. Some interesting choices here that I'm not sure of. The first is this is being released by Frontierworks, not Toei or HappyNet, which means I believe Toei is affiliated with Frontierworks, but they have not done Digimon Blu-rays before. The other thing is the disc format is very strange for Japanese Blu-rays. Each set is 3, which that's not maxing out a Blu-ray, but it's coming close, and I don't know. I'm not familiar with Frontierworks to know if that's good or bad. There'll be new art from the character designer of the show,
Okay.
so we will see, and a bunch of store exclusives. And I'm ready for like the rub of the store exclusives, Dev. You only get them if you buy
Oh
Volume
no.
1 and 2 together.
Damn it.
Yeah, so it's like, hey Dev, you want 3 acrylic keychains? Order both from Animate. And
Yeah,
no,
let's spend 7 billion fucking dollars
yeah.
on for a bonus.
Also, they have not clarified if that one if the bi-week special show up where he's just sitting in the chair and we get clips from what's it, just 3 episodes, I think.
Oh,
It was only 2 or 3 episodes that
you
they
know,
actually showed clips from.
I don't remember which episodes it was. I was just very
I
distracted
remember
by
I remember
the
the one was Pumpmon.
random spooky clutter in the background.
Yeah. So they haven't clarified if that's gonna be there yet, so we will see. But that's up for pre-order now. Terriermon Assistant Lab had an episode where Terriermon wonders if AI will take his job, and they also tease some Digimon Con stuff.
Well, we already saw Digimon Con, so.
Yeah. So Anime Japan is this weekend. So the giveaway at the Toei booth for Digimon's fun. It's like one of those plastic bags, to carry stuff in that where you're shopping at the event. But instead of being a collectible throwaway, there's places where you can tear it and remove it to be a clear file.
That's convenient.
And it also has Digimon Up stickers. And there will be photo spots with the Gekomon mascot.
Yay! Hope
Then
that Megumi-Han does not kidnap the Gekomon mascot suit.
she'll try.
Absolutely.
Then at Digimon Con, we got Digimon license updates. It's actually, a lot of people thought they were going to announce a release date, and I think we kind of knew they weren't going to because they'd been reversioning it so much. And it was basically what we expected. They got a lot of feedback from the beta, they're taking it seriously, and that means they're still doing stuff. They,
Yeah, I'm glad that they're not trying to rush it through and they're making it
yeah.
actually like a good
No,
functional game,
and,
especially if they expect to
yeah.
keep it around longer.
And that is honestly a good thing. I know people are disappointed they didn't announce a release date. I'm much more comfortable with them going, you guys gave us a lot of feedback. We did demos at events, we did a beta. There was a lot of feedback. We're taking it seriously. And then they showed some examples. They also showed us some of the more rare cards that will get motion cards in the game. We got some new art. I gather that where the tamer cards are is pissing people off still, though. I saw multiple people ranting about that.
Well, where it's just like random clip art
Yeah,
of character and
yeah. Um,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no,
It
no, no,
feels
no,
like
no.
they kind of look like
No, sorry. I
placeholders.
mean the positions. Wherever the
Oh,
something about where the tamers cards are, like upset people.
I thought they were about like talking about like the artwork.
No, 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 no.
They're talking about like the actual positioning on
Yes,
the
something about it.
playmat,
Here's the thing.
essentially.
Here's the thing. I do not play the card game enough to know. I think someone said it was too high or too low or something, and I saw multiple people like getting upset about this. Okay, someone in chat says here they're on the same line as the Digimon, which makes it look off. And I will agree. I think I remember from seeing the card game stuff that isn't how the actual card game does it. So we will see. Um, but yeah, here's the thing. The intention is for this to be a long-term thing. I'm very comfortable with them going, hey, we're trying to actually do it right, and we're not giving you a date now that we may not make because then we'll be rushing.
Yeah.
I can appreciate
It's
that.
not going to be Digimon Survive, we promise.
Then off to more Cardland. E-Pulse. This may be for some reason, does this feel like the laziest screenshot card ever to have E-Pulse?
Yes. Boring
Like,
as shit.
like it makes perfect sense. It feels lazy though. Geo Greymon and Rise Greymon each get very nice art. Geo Greymon feels like he feels like someone traced a fighting game move, and I love it.
Catch these hands.
Gaomon and Galgamon. These aren't the same shot moved around, but they're close, and they're cute.
I like the Galgamon one more because he looks so happy.
It feels like it's easier to tell what they're both doing in that one. In the Gaomon one, Galgamon's saying there, but like Galmon is sort of just hanging on to him in a very kind of unclear way. Oh, and chat did clarify, Dev. In the actual card game, Tamers go a line below the Digimon. So that appears to be what has people upset. Not in the chat, but they're just explaining why people are upset.
That makes sense.
Falcomon. This is a good card. The only issue I have with this card, does it feel like it's the exact same theming as the Galmon one?
It is, but also it's the same artist, so we'll probably see some other ones
We bet.
similarly.
I will change my mind if we also get Peckmon.
That's what I'm expecting.
Then Lillimon and Rosemon. Both of
The
these are
Rosemon
gorgeous.
one is framed so
I
good.
know the framing's perfect on that. It's good. Then Armalizamon. That is a great card. It shows Gekomon jumping. I love that card so much. And then a preview they put up during Digimon Con. A new Digimon that they gave no information on named Habakirimon. Although the hosts were basically Here's the thing. It's not possible to spoil who this is because we all know it's Murasemon.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip of the host though? And what they were doing?
I did not see that part though.
Okay,
I kind of flicked through the
earlier during the
card game section.
Beatbreak cast section, they were asking the actors like what are things they like about their character. And one of the things the actor from Murasimon talked about was how his legs are drawn, the joints are done a bit differently, to go for that like canine look.
Yeah.
And here the hosts start going, look at those legs, the way they're bent. They go, huh? Yeah, like they're like repeating what he said for it, even though like, yeah, so it's just done really well. There's
Also, like
also,
kind of like the theming continuing of like holy swords
well, that's the other thing.
in
A lot of people are
mythology.
wondering if this is actually a trick. Do you know what the trick would be, Dev? This is the same thing that Susanumon's sword is named after. I'm not,
Ah,
I'm
so would it be a legend arms?
don't know, but also like, they're going Susanumon. They did the Shangri-La stuff, and here they're not Shangri-La. Brain froze on Third Digital
Uh,
World. It's Shambhala with
yeah, we keep
Shambhala and
fucking that
Shangri-La.
up.
Yeah, to be fair, they introduced them like a month apart. So we'll see. Pagumon, that is great art. And I love Toy Agumon leaving the Lego steps.
Oh, I didn't even know that until you pointed
Yeah,
out.
the Lego steps are so good. Gazimon gets. This feels like much fancier art than we normally get for him.
Like his ears getting
Yeah,
blown away in the wind.
yeah. And Daigonder got what I was trying to say was like, would they do like Alphamon or Yuken?
That would be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
And someone pointed out that yes, I didn't mean to say canine. Marasimon is a cat.
Digitigrade legs.
Lady Devmon, really good art. The only issue I've, doesn't this feel like one of those art contest ones from a few years ago?
A little.
I still like it, but it feels like we've seen this before. And then, okay, so first let's talk about Aegiomon. Very nice manga-esque pose. This is like, I think, right after he evolves, and Inori's right there.
I like the lighting on it.
Now, do you know why I want to talk about him first?
No.
Okay, so pull up the Elecmon
Because I
art.
did not actually play Time Stranger yet.
Okay, look up the Elecmon art.
Yes.
That's Jabba the Hutt. Look at the face.
Like a...
He's about to threaten Luke Skywalker. And then we get
You get
more.
stuck in carbonite.
And then we get more from that family. We get Agio Chumon Blue and Agio Chumon Green. I don't have much to say about these. They're very nice. I like the blurred background based on scenes from the game.
Nice. I cannot appreciate that yet until I play the game.
Then we get Tapmon sleeping, well, trying to sleep.
So fucking tired. Just like me.
Then I think this is some good VIP art. A very cartoony, colorful Gatchmon with Onmon.
Oh, from the game.
Yep. This is some of the best art in this set so far. I love the
I love
colorful
like the
effects and
little
everything.
sparkle and rainbow
Yeah,
effects.
exactly. It's so good. Then Ignition Flare and Iron Slash, which are both based on visuals from Time Stranger. Both are Olympus 12 members, of course. Very nice visual. These kind of match the nice but more basic option cards we've gotten for a bit now. It looks good.
Yeah.
3 preview pages from V Jump, which is the new starter decks and 81.
Nice.
Then we get previews of the Gamamon family cards that will be used as prize cards for Ultimate Cup 26-27 Season 1.
I
Is
mean,
it?
they're all so good, but I really love the colors in the
I
Kanawai-Smon
was gonna
card.
say like it feels funny when you look at them in a row. It feels like they want you to see the Kana Weissman one first.
Because he's cool. But
And
also, I mean, look at the babies!
Then in card battle, they do an AD01 set with Hideyoshi, but there's a twist for this match. Hideyoshi is using an Omegamon / Omnimon deck. Meguro is using the Medusamon deck from the World Championships.
Neat.
Which won? I
The Medusamon deck.
Yeah, Medusamon deck won. I vaguely recall that when the match was happening, and then they start showing previews, like they're going to show the ban list, and there's definitely going to be some cards from this deck here because some of them are really cheap, and I don't think a single one was on the restricted list. If I'm wrong and someone follows the card game, someone will have to correct that. But people were telling me like multiple cards here are like really easy to cheat, not cheat, but like be cheap with, and they expected multiple to be on the restricted list, and I don't think any of them were. Moving on from cards, they're doing
Yay! Finally.
they're doing reproduction of Tomorrow's jacket and T-shirt.
I'm really surprised it seems to only be in a single size.
It is okay. Before we jump to that, Dev, in chat someone pointed out people are not happy with that ban list. Like whatever was expected for that list, people were really yeah. In fact, now multiple people in chat are commenting about it.
Like,
Okay,
no, now I have to completely revamp the entirety of my strategies.
so back to the shirt. So yes, it's only one size. Also, maybe this is just me not having like light winter wear because I generally just wear a t-shirt unless I need like heavier stuff. Does the jacket look cheap? Or
It
maybe
looks
not
like
cheap.
it's a
Maybe not cheap.
windbreaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say more uncomfortable. The shirt looks
This is
nice.
more like a windbreaker.
The shirt looks nice. I guess the shirt confused a lot of people because I think a lot of people thought that like the shirt was like a two-tone long sleeve shirt with purple sleeves.
Honestly, I would have assumed that too. Like, I wouldn't have thought that
The sleeves are part of the
the
jacket.
coat itself would have the purple on the end.
Yeah. Um, the price here weirdly is not that crazy.
It's not,
Sixteen
especially for
thousand.
like a jacket and a shirt.
Yeah, 16,500 yen. Current exchange rate is ignoring intermediary stuff. This is 100. This is under $105. That's not terrible for a themed shirt and jacket. You could get a themed shirt for 40 or 50 now. Like it's not bad.
Yeah.
Um, and since it's being sold at the Toei Animation Online store, they have an intermediary baked into the site.
Yeah, I need to do some more math with
If this fits you.
the measurements. I'm pretty sure it does, but just in case,
Yeah,
because I
it's
am,
still it.
again, terrible with numbers.
Yeah, because $100 with an intermediary import fees, this is gonna be 170 probably.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I definitely want to cosplay Tomoro at some point, but it's more economical for me to get this or try and make it myself.
It's actually probably right on the line, isn't it?
Yeah, especially since I would have to order fabric anyway, because again, with Joanne's fabric being closing, as every poor cosplayer is crying about,
Yeah.
that definitely ups the costs.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm trying to decide if I think you're actually ordered. I'm going to say no. I think you're going to decide that it locks you into a cosplay too early for the cost.
Not really. I mean, I have pretty much everything else
Oh,
minus a wig.
that's true. I don't know then. Okay, moving on from the jacket and shirt, they announced a
Yep.
Beatbreak kids bento lunchbox.
It's really cute. I
Now,
like the little
now,
team symbols
what's
on the
funny is this showing
latch.
up a few days after devs like the show is actually aimed at 8-year-olders. And what's funny is
Yeah.
what's funny is so this company does like a lot of bento boxes and stuff. They're only doing the Beatbreak one in the smallest kid size they do.
Yeah, makes sense.
But here's where it gets funny. So this same model is also one they use for Bluey, but Bluey also has a bigger kid's lunchbox. They're only doing this for the smallest of small kids. And I've seen a number of people go, no, adults can use this. To be clear, of course, adults can. But when I see people trying to argue, no, this is a lunchbox for office workers, no, it is not.
No, it's not.
It is like,
I mean, if your office worker is like a toddler, sure.
I should point out, like the amount of this is very little food. This is just to give an example of when they say 360 milliliters and they say 200 milliliter for the rice holder, that would be less than a cup of rice cooked. That is
Yeah.
very small. And it also includes a name tag, which is definitely not for the office workers. Price is very good though. It is basically $10.
It's really good. I mean, if it shows up at a convention for like 15 or 20, it'd be something I'd grab just to like put on the shelf
Yeah.
or store dice in.
Then V Jump had some product previews. Nothing super exciting. Basically, it's the new wave V pets and the die cut stickers, which is all stuff we've gone over. I like having the previews though; it's neat. Although weirdly, we do not have a US date for these yet, which is especially
Hopefully
wild.
eventually.
Which is especially wild with the logo in Japan being an updated version of our old Digimon logo.
They'll show up eventually.
Anna Birth is showing off. Okay, so these are the crescent tags that show up every once in a while that were introduced back in Try. The nice metal
Yeah,
ones. It also comes with a mini butterfly music box, a display box.
cute.
It is not cheap. Did you see the price, Dev?
No, I just assumed it was going to be
Okay,
out of my personal
in
price
USD
range.
it is $176.
I mean, that's not bad.
It isn't, but that's
It's
a
bad for
lot. That's a
me.
lot. So
Yeah, it's like I understand, but I'm
yeah,
not buying that.
these will be available in Annabirth March 27th, April 3rd at the Toei Online store, and also on March 7th, Animate Ikebukuro, which closed a month ago because it's moving elsewhere in the same building, reopens the same day. And they will have random postcards, including a Beatbreak one. And I guess on the back there'll be a QR code that activates like a website with like an AR frame that makes the characters appear on the card or something.
Oh, cool.
So that's a neat little thing. Uh, then we got U.S. pre-orders for a new Digimon figure line, Digimon Adventure Digivice. They're starting with Patamon and Angemon. These are
Unexpected,
these
but
are about $30 each. They then formally announced them during Digimon Con. These will be like fancy crane game prizes in Japan. And there
so like
are
the pop-up parade.
yes, yes, exactly. So these are nice little figures, but $30 if you just want to buy the US ones, which is good. Really nice designs, I have to say. Angemon especially looks impressive.
Yeah, that's really good for like $30.
Yeah. And Angemon is 8.7 inches tall, so not tiny.
Yeah.
Then figure news from Digimon Con. So first up, some sort of figures will be made for Godzilla versus Digimon Pendulum Color. We don't know which line they'll be part of or anything, but we'll see. They showed off an unpainted prototype of the upcoming Magna Garurumon, both separate and making a Susanumon. They showed off what
That
we
is
just
cool.
talked about, the Digivice figures. They also announced that Wave 2 of those are being worked on.
Nice. I wonder if Tailmon and Anjuamon would be the next ones in line.
I don't know. We'll see, though. I almost think you could see saving them for 4. I don't know. I feel like you always do. You always want to see Agumon early because that gets people to try it.
Yeah.
Then
Mascot Prince Money.
yeah, then they showed off the real data collection Tyrannomon figure and announced that second one of those is being worked on. They said second wave, but they didn't clarify if second wave was multiple or just one. So we'll see. Then poll stuff. So first up, poll results for favorite Digimon partner from Tactics. I don't recall. We definitely said Ludomon was going to win and Mondramon would be second. I don't remember if we thought Gigasmon or Shakomon would be third. I think we said Gigasmon and
Um,
Shakomon bottom because Shakomon doesn't do much.
yeah, it doesn't have much of a personality, and
Yeah,
basically all of its charisma comes from other
yeah,
appearances in the series.
yeah. I don't think there's any wild surprise here, to be honest.
No.
And then the poll results from the Digimon you'd like to see in a future Digimon game. So there's a lot here. Some are more interesting than others. I think the thing that everyone kind of forgets about this one, though, is this is kind of a gimme poll. There's no one here that is like low. What I mean.
Yeah, these are already ones that essentially would
The,
be in the running.
yeah,
These are already very popular
yeah.
Digimon
It's not
in
like
general.
there's a list of 200 Digimon with some popular, some unpopular. The most unpopular ones here are still reasonably popular Digimon. So Gamamon getting about 9% of the vote, not that shocking. Lugamon and Fairyamon, I can't decide if I feel like that's right or not.
I feel like Lugamon is right just because he's kind of like recently in people's memories, kind of goes with the whole X antibody thing, and has a lot of really fucking cool forms, including
Yeah, but here's the thing.
the combo with
When I
Pulsemon.
look at other ones, I'm not sure if it ranks that high, to be honest. I don't know. Um,
Well, the specifics are like in a game, so you would assume
yeah.
like the whole thing, the whole line is going to be in there.
Well, that's what it feels like Pulsemon getting a bump, for example, is because Pulsemon theoretically you get a bunch of interesting shit with him. Now, I think we all know who the ultimate cheat one here is, though. Is number 7, Terriermon Assistant, who on his show would constantly tell people he wants to be in a game and to go vote for him.
Yes. It's
Uh,
like, I'm sorry, I didn't vote for him this time. I figured he'd be pretty high enough already.
and he is. Okay, so I look at this. The ones that actually got lower than I expected would be Jellymon. Jellymon I thought would get higher.
Yeah, I felt like she'd be up higher for like the waifu
Um,
points.
Murase is much lower than I thought.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah, you can only vote for
you
one, and
only
you're probably going to vote
know
for Gekamon.
two of his forms so far.
And what's weird is people are like, aha, everyone hates S1. That's actually not that bad of a showing for Espimon, to be honest. Like, would
But it's
any.
still funny.
Oh, it is, but like, when you think of the actual percentages, would you think of Murasemon only being under twice as popular as Espimon while he's a main important Digimon on the show?
Sad, but also considering how much they pushed Espimon over the past couple
See,
years.
I don't really feel like push is the right word. It's more he was there. I'm trying to decide if Angoramon feels too low, or if that's about where I think he would be.
Mm, he's
Terramon,
really cute,
Terramon
and I
feels
really
low.
like him, but
Terramon feels low
uh,
to me.
yeah, I figured Terramon would be like upper third, especially
Yeah,
because main character partner and also really cool evolutions.
yeah. But no, very interesting poll overall. Then moving on to the weekend stuff, Ayumi Miyazaki posted about his new mini concert tour he's doing later in the year to celebrate his 55th birthday. He also noted it would be his
Like,
first time
yeah,
in
I'm
Fukuoka.
old. I'm gonna work some more.
Well, the funny part is with the 55, it's go go.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Then Kenji Watanabe celebrated his 60th birthday, and we got some photos from the party. Very fun
I
that one.
hope he's doing okay.
Yeah. I think he is. It's hard to tell. Then photos from the Bandai Card Game Fest Super Tamer Battle, along with recent recordings of Card Battle. Some good photos here. Meguro taking a photo of Chiba asleep is especially a good one.
I wish that were me.
Then um, photos from Digimon Con. Nothing super fancy. I believe this is that same, I forget the name of the company, the virtual stage company that they've used for a few years in a row.
Okay.
That's the one where every year or two, someone involved with Digimon posts a photo of the company's like door and has the name, and people think they're making a VR game.
Like, no, they're just doing some recording there.
Yeah. Then 10th anniversary of Digimon World Next Order. Very nice, smooth art for this one.
I like it. It's soft and pleasant.
Yeah. Then we get card game art. This one, I like how my first thought reading the chapter was like mocking Zenith's posing, and this does it also. And Owen just
Yeah.
wants to get away. Also, that Elizamon art is amazing. Also also the Vemmon art.
Yes, he's just so excited for
What's funny?
Zenith.
What's funny is if you look at the Vemmon art, do you know what it kind of looks like? It almost looks like an SD Goofy Mega Man.
Oh, that's cute.
Then art from Liberator from people worked on it to celebrate the end of it. Usagi Bochi posted Shoto and Terramon with Muchomon catching up to them. Tomo One did a really good like group shot.
I'm glad Unchained is in there.
Yeah, everyone looks so good in this one. And GSM Pilot, who did all the covers for Liberator, also posted, thanks for the support. They worked on every cover. They hope everyone will continue to enjoy the Digimon card game, and maybe someday we'll meet in Lacuna again.
Elysian!
Someone points out that Vemmon is giant. Oh, wait, they're talking about the other one. Oh, in the card game SD art, someone in chat pointed this out. Vemmon is trying to copy Zenith's pose.
Aww.
I didn't notice that. That is a good one to call out. Then it was added after I'd already posted last week. Takahiro Kojima posted art for Granite's birthday. It's just him with
He looks
sparkles.
so tired.
Yes, he does. Then we get Beatbreak art. So Takahiro Kojima posted art of Ramphomon. Akimini Aki posted art of Raito. And CD Cloud posted art of Clay. They did layout and Gengar art. Really good art of Clay. Maybe a bit too heroic.
Well, it's how Clay sees himself.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point. And then chat time for questions. Start with the ones that were sent in first. Someone said, "Do you think there are changes you'd prefer to events like Digimon Con that would improve them? How much effort does covering an event like that take?" I kind of like when they split them into multiple days and make them shorter.
At least for us who are
Yeah,
covering the news.
yeah. And as for the effort, well, let me put it this way. So Digimon Con started at 5:30. When I stopped at 12:30, I still had an article or two to post the next day, and I had not watched Beatbreak yet, and I had not done the weekend post yet. So a lot, and I know Lost had to revise a lot of notes and card stuff for the show. So it's very tiring. Let's see. Next up, someone said they were changing the way they eat. They're wondering what we thought of edamame snacks. They tried the roasted ones and they didn't seem too good. I don't like the roasted ones either, to be honest.
I've only ever had them, like, raw, kind of.
Yeah, so that's how I eat them too. So when you eat them, it's kind of like uh, not quite crisp but good, and they're kind of like a
You have a nice
combination of like
snap to them.
sweet and rich, sort of. When I tried the roasted ones, they're kind of dried, no richness. It's like it was very unpleasant to be honest. So I would say just eat them raw. I guess warm if you want them that way, because I know plenty of people eat them warm or will put stuff on them. But yeah,
They are versatile.
yeah. Someone said since it came up at Digimon Con a little bit, would you prefer the Time Stranger DLC stick with alternate universe selected DLC, or act more as a sequel or mid-story take? I feel
I
like
want more story relevance with
yeah,
DLC in
yeah,
general.
after the DLC packs were all like alternate universes show up, but they don't do anything that interesting with them. I would like the story to be a bit different at least, which I feel like was an issue I had with Time Stranger, but we will see. Let's see. How are you feeling about after Digimon Con about Digimon, and do you think you'll play the upcoming mobile games? I mean,
I
Digimon feels like in a good place.
probably will.
I feel like I'm more likely to try Digimon Up than Elyson. It's not that I dislike Elyson, it's just that I just don't play the card game. I could very easily see installing it, trying it, and then 5 minutes later going, okay, I'm done. Just because it's just not my thing.
Also, if Up is more like a V pet, I can see them not killing the game off immediately, like
We
they tend to do with some of their other
Well,
smartphone
remember,
games.
even like a lot of them lasted like 3, 4 years. They lasted a decent period of time, but we will see.
Yeah, but
And
they're also games that could have easily been converted to some sort of like
yeah,
single player format where she's like, just let me buy the game and play it. Stop destroying
we will
everything.
also see just how deep the gotcha well goes.
Yeah.
That could change things heavily.
Yeah.
Then someone asked, "Oh, you've mentioned testing game systems and PCs with games and Time Stranger not being great for that. They're wondering why and what games are good for that. Time Stranger is good for that because Time Stranger has stuttering issues that just happen. And with the console versions having other issues that, yeah. Let's see what game.
It all comes back to that fuck ass old engine.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: they could upgrade it for the Switch 2 ports, and we might be having a different conversation in a few months. The games I've been using for testing, I did some with Doom: The Dark Ages. I tested the modern Final Fantasy VII games, a few others. Um, Last week, Death Stranding 2 came out on PC, and I tested a bit of that, and that was great for testing. Um, but here's the thing: 99% of the time, you don't really need to worry about that. I just like doing it. If you're like, here's the thing: if I explain the issue times, if I explain why Time Changer has issues with that, and you go, I didn't notice any stuttering, that's great. Don't worry about it. Just ignore that I said it, ignore that it might exist, and just go play. It's not a big deal. Digander says, with the expansion DLC announced, and assuming it's going to be similar to how Hacker's Memory, what Digimon would you like to have as the big bad, and like the front cover type image, like Archidemon and Hacker's Memory? I feel like the cheat answer is to go with Gamamon and say it's Proximamon. That's like the cheat answer.
Ooh. That would be fucking cool though.
It would be minus that. Then we have to have running around with Galoose, and that's just a bad flashback for everyone. You know what I mean?
I know. Give Black Tiamon Uber the final boss treatment.
That'd
It's
be a
what
good
they
one.
deserve for getting shafted in Ghost Game.
Okay, what Digimon would you like to see in a Digimon would you like to see in a video game?
Mm.
Did you hear me?
That hasn't
My
already
mic was
been
being weird.
in one?
Uh, to see return. So in games, but not in them lately.
Huh. Hmm.
Okay, would you like to know the cheat answer to this one? Because it was in the poll, so it's actually on my mind. Mon.
What, Koemon? Yep.
That's the
Same
cheat
brain
answer.
cell.
That is the cheat answer because it's easy to remember that one because it was in the poll. As for the
Yeah, and
real
it's also
answer,
I played Digimon World 3 a lot, so
yeah, I'm trying to think like, is there anyone else off the top of my head? I feel like there isn't. Let's see. Last chance in chat for questions. As we do the last one that was sent out time, someone said since we've gotten various web novels, manga, and web comics in recent years, which do you think works best for Digimon?
honestly, I feel like comics work pretty
Yeah,
fucking well.
yeah, I feel like either format works. I personally like the manga more because like broken up and a bit more focused.
Yeah.
But I have no real issue with the scrolling webcomic format, honestly. It's fine.
I kind of like having I feel like Digimon works really well with large horizontal like
Yeah,
double spread
that's
pages
that's
for
the
a lot
only
of things.
that's the only issue I have with Liberator. There were so many times when it was very obvious they want to do like a big wide thing, and instead they just try to do it vertical.
It doesn't really work that well
Yeah.
because it's going off the other part's going off your screen. You
Okay.
can't observe it in its full glory all at once.
Okay, that's it for questions. Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read? There's a lot of good choices for this one.
Gamamon because Gamamon is baby and congrats.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I still think the funniest fucking part, they would not even go to the lengths of confirming Gamamon showing up. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna look at this when we do the DLC in future games and see what makes sense. And it's like that's why we call the poll a gimme. These are all like Digimon that would be like first in line for that type of thing without the poll.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a
Uh,
little bit of engagement.
yeah, but Gamamon definitely deserved that win, I think. So
So
we
much
will.
potential.
Let's see. I think probably next Monday for the end of the tactics arc, and I assume we'll have some sort of teaser for what comes next for Beatbreak. We will catch you all next time. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.